Hi, everybody. It is almost 5 p.m. Pacific time. Today we are going to we're going to work on postures that help detox the body, that it helps flush toxins out of your body and sort of helps clear your mind. You might sweat a little bit, but it's going to be basically a lot of movements that sort of massage the organs and like so twists and core work and things that activate all of those different parts of the body in order for us to get and inversions as well, in order for us to get just blood and oxygen moving through different parts of the body and just flush everything out. So ideally you do a detox class in like more of a heated setting. If you want, you can put on some warmer clothes, and that sort of helps, like, you sweat a little bit more. So and if you don't want to turn your thermostat up for the next hour, maybe put on some thicker tights, pants, or like a sweatshirt or something to start. So just to get a little bit of that sweat going as well, and get that more detox sweat going. So you're going to need a strap of some kind. This could be like a band, like an exercise band, or it could be like a robe tie, like something that you like tie your robe with. So basically we're starting in legs up the wall pose, and we're going to strap our legs together so we don't have to hold our legs up. So something that emulates a strap that you can tie around your legs. And then you're going to need pillows, and then something that emulates 2 yoga blocks. So that could be books, or it could be a foam roller. It could be like Lysol canisters. I don't know, something that just helps you hold on to something on the ground that raises the ground up. So we're going to get started in legs up the wall pose. So I'll show you how to get there. So you're going to want to put your mat up against a wall space. Mine's not super ideal, but because there's a window there, but I'll make it work. So essentially I actually would recommend getting a blanket as well. And you're going to set yourself up by putting your mat and potentially a blanket right against the wall. And then I have a strap. So I'm going to make some sort of loop in the strap. So that I have a loop, but you may need to just tie it, depending on what you have as a strap. Then you're going to hook it around your feet, and then have your feet about hips, maybe hip width distance, maybe a little bit narrower, and then just tighten the strap so that you're not going anywhere. I'm just going to tie a knot in this. And this is like literally what I use for to hold my yoga mat together. So it's something as simple as that. I'm just going to makeshift the strap here. Okay. And then you're going to sit all the way up to the wall. Scoot your right hip up to the wall as close as you can get. And then you're going to lay back. So scoot your hips up to the wall. You're going to lay back and then turn yourself to face the wall. So ideally your sit bones are flush with the wall, and your feet are you don't have to have your knees totally straight, but you have a lot of support with this strap here. And then your sacrum is raised a little bit up onto a pillow or a blanket. And then take your arms next to you with the palms facing up. See if you can press into the head to lift your shoulder blades off of the mat, and then tuck them underneath you and pull them together. And then you can just relax the toes, let your chest sink further into the ground. Have a slight tuck to your chin. And just relax the breath here to start. So legs up the wall pose is an extremely restorative posture. A lot of people like to take their final resting pose here. I know there was several months where I didn't want to take my final pose in Shavasana. I wanted legs up the wall. And it does wonders on the nervous system. It allows the direction of our circulation and our blood flow to just come in. It allows the circulation and the blood flow to go in the opposite direction than it normally does. So all of that blood and oxygen in your feet and your ankles, we're normally upright. It's coming down into our abdomen, coming down our legs, into our abdomen, and into our organs. And pairing this with deep breathing allows you to relax the nervous system, deactivating that fight or flight mode, and activating the relaxation system. Maybe you start to deepen the breath here. Taking longer inhales and equally as long exhales through the nose. Noticing if there's any parts of your body that feel particularly uncomfortable or tight today, or if you're feeling any pain anywhere, existing pain, any injury, making a mental note of all of those things in those places that you feel them in, and just noticing them throughout class. If there's any part of the flow, any part of the posture that it makes it feel past the point of uncomfortability and to pain, make sure that you back out of whatever that posture is and honor that pain that you feel, and know that it's not the posture that you should be in at the moment, or you should take it, like, not take it quite as far. And also know that at any point in class, you can rest and take a water break, come down into child's pose, anything that you need. This is your practice. You do what feels good in the body, what feels right. And remember the difference between being uncomfortable and pushing yourself and pain. And there's that line that we cross, or we try not to cross, rather. Uncomfortability is okay. That means we're working our body, we're working our muscles, we're challenging ourselves, we're building heat. But if it becomes to the point of pain, that's when you know you have to back out. A couple more deep breaths in this posture. And then your next inhale breath, take your biggest breath yet. So see how much space you can create in the belly when you inhale. And then as you exhale, start to bend to the knees and take the soles of the feet onto the wall. So your knees are bent, your thighs are sinking into your chest. And start to feel that sensation of the tingling in your feet and the compression in your hip flexors. The release of the low back, maybe. Start to remove the strap from around your ankles or your legs. And set that off to the side. We probably won't need that until Actually, you won't need it at all. Bigger. And then you're just going to roll onto one side into a fetal position. So wherever this ends up, you're just going to roll onto your side. Is that my phone? Oh, sorry, guys. 1 second.
Man.
Oh my God. Mom. Sorry, my mom was calling. Okay, so from the fetal position, just come up to into our chest. And wrap your arms around your thighs or your shins. And then extend your left leg straight out in front of you and keep drawing your right knee into your chest. Flex the left foot and then start to make a little bit of circles with the knee so that you massage the hip joint and lubricate that space. And then draw your right knee across your body towards the left side of your mat and drop your left knee all the way down on the ground if you can make it. And then try to keep that right shoulder planted on the mat. So we're coming into this supine twisting pose. Take deep breaths here through the nose. Deep breaths out. On your next inhale, draw your right knee back into your chest. And then draw your left knee in to meet the right. Extend the right leg straight out in front of you. Keep the right foot flexed. Lift the knee cap so that your quad is engaged, your whole right leg is engaged. And start to draw circles with that left knee, massaging the hip space. And then when you're ready, you're going to take the left knee across your body towards the right side of your mat, all the way down, or until right about the point where your left shoulder lifts off of the mat. So we want to keep the left shoulder on the mat. And just take it wherever is comfortable for you. This nice twist to warm up the spine. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And a deep breath out. Breath in. And breath out. So to return to center, drawing both knees into the chest. And then straighten the legs up towards the ceiling. Feet are flexed. We're going to start to lower the legs very slowly down towards the mat until we get about an inch off of the ground. And then inhale, come back up slowly. And exhale, lower slowly. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale back up. And exhale down. Try to keep the legs straight. Try to keep the feet flexed. Inhale up. Try to keep that low back, the sacrum on the mat. And exhale down. Inhale back up. Couple more. And exhale down. Inhale back up. And exhale lower. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale lower. All the way down this time. Bend the knees, place the soles of your feet flat on the mat about hip-width distance apart, and then scoot your tailbone down to meet your heels so that when you reach with your fingertips, you can graze the back of your heels. On your inhale breath, you're going to press into the bottom of the soles of your feet and lift your hips high using the strength of your glutes and your quads. And then see if you can press into the shoulders to lift yourself even higher. Press into the feet. Make sure that the knees are tracking straight forward over the ankles rather than coming out to the side or knocking in. Take your tailbone down towards your knees. Inhale, breath in, bridge. And breath out. One last breath. And then exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Draw your knees back into your chest. Start to rock and roll up and down your spine. We're eventually going to make our way into tabletop position on our hands and knees. So make your way into that tabletop pose. And then we're going to move it through a few cat-cows. So on the inhale breath, drop your belly low, lift your tailbone up towards the ceiling, pull your chest through your shoulders, broaden your collarbone, and lift your gaze up. And then on the exhale breath, take your tailbone down towards your heels, pull the low belly in, puff the upper back up, broaden at the shoulder blades, tuck your chin into your chest, press firmly into the palms. That's cat pose. And then on the inhale breath, we're dropping the belly low, tailbone to the sky, chin up to the ceiling. Broaden at the collarbones. And then exhale, round and curl, cat pose. Inhale, cow, drop the belly low. Lift the chin, lift the chest. And then exhale, cat, round and curl. Inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Tuck your toes underneath you, and then just lift your hips, or lift your knees about an inch or two off of the mat. And here's where the core work starts. We're pulling the low belly in. We're pulling the ribs together, pressing firmly into the palms, spreading the fingertips wide, rolling the biceps towards the front of our mat, triceps back towards the back of our mat, towards our knees. Start to feel the quads fire up, feel the shoulders fire up. A couple more deep breaths here. And then exhale, release the knees back onto the mat. Walk your hands a couple inches out forward. And then keep your toes tucked. We're going to lift our knees all the way up. Straighten the legs as much as you can. Lift your hips high, downward facing dog. Heels come towards the mat. Our fingers are spread wide. Hands are positioned hip, shoulder width distance apart. Roll the biceps towards the ceiling and the triceps down towards the mat. So spin them in that direction, and then take your ears out of your shoulders out of your ears. Pull the low belly in towards the spine and draw your ribs together. The more you can press out of the hands, the lighter you can get in the wrists, and the more length that you can create in the spine. So as an example, if you want to look at my downward dog really quickly. So right now I'm sort of sinking into the palms. Look how much length I can create by just pressing out of the palms, and I can actually start to sink my heels further down the mat. So right now I'm sinking into my wrists and my hands. Now I'm pressing firmly out of the hands, and I can sink my heels down. So that's how much sort of pressure you want to put in the hands. Take an inhale breath and an exhale. Inhale. And then as you exhale, shift forward into high plank pose. If this is tough for you, just lower the knees. So we're in high plank pose. Our shoulders are right over our wrists. Our heels are right over our toes. Low belly is pulling in. Tailbone is working down towards the heels. Fingertips are spread wide. Collarbones are broadened. Start to shift forward. So you're shifting your shoulders past your fingertips and coming up onto your toes, and then shifting back. Forward, and exhale back. Inhale forward, and exhale back. A couple more. Inhale forward, and exhale back. Inhale forward, and then exhale back in the downward facing dog. So take your ears next to your biceps. The biceps are rolling up towards the ceiling, triceps down towards the mat, heels are sinking down towards the mat. A slight micro bend in both the elbows and the knees. Deep breaths here, in and out through the nose. At the end of your next exhale, start to walk your feet towards the front of your mat to meet your hands. All the way up. Bend generously into the knees so that you can rest your rib cage on top of your thighs. Grab opposite elbows and let your neck and your head hang heavy in your spine. See if you can take most of your weight into the balls of your feet and your toes, And see if you can work your hips up over your heels. Deep breaths here. Maybe you sway from side to side. Take one more deep inhale breath here. And a deep breath out. On your inhale, we're going to slowly start to rise all the way up to standing. Knees can stay bent. And then hands come into prayer in front of your heart. So our feet are about hips width distance apart. Take a big inhale breath. And a big exhale out the mouth. One more time, inhale through the nose. And then exhale out the mouth. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Take your biceps next to your ears and drop your shoulders down, your shoulder blades down your back. Inhale here through the nose. And then exhale, bow forward all the way down. You can bow forward or do a swan dive. On the inhale breath, we're going to come up about halfway. So halfway is when your hands come on your shins and you can make as long and flat of a spine as possible. And then exhale, fold, plant your hands on the mat. We're stepping back into a high plank position. And a couple options here for your sort of chaturanga vinyasa sequence. You could do a traditional all-out flow by coming into that high plank, shifting forward, lowering halfway down, untucking the back toes, peeling the chest through, broadening the collarbones for upward facing dog. Your knees stay lifted, and then pressing back in downward facing dog. That's one option. You can also lower the knees, lower the chest, untuck your back toes, lift into low cobra. Same concept here. Light in the palms, press into the tops of the feet, lift the kneecaps, but our pubic bone is pressing into the mat, and we're using the strength of our back to lift our chest off of the mat. And then come back into tabletop, tuck your back toes, downward facing dog. So two options there for your vinyasa flow. It's totally up to you, wherever you feel like you can take this. You can also opt to skip them completely. Take an inhale breath here in downward facing dog. And an exhale out. Breathe in through the nose. And breathe out. Walk your feet towards the front of the mat. On your inhale breath, you're going to lift into that halfway position with a long, flat spine. And then exhale, fold, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way to standing. The arms come up overhead. Reaching forward, reaching up. And then exhale, hands come through center in prayer in front of your heart. On the inhale breath, reach all the way out to the ceiling. And on the exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, come up halfway, finding that flat spine. And on the exhale, plant your hands, step back into high plank. You can move through high plank, chaturanga, upward facing downward dog, or lower the knees. And then cobra, and then downward facing dog. So totally up to you there. Inhale through the nose, and exhale out. Deep breath in, and deep breath out. Walk your feet towards the front of your mat. On the inhale breath, come up halfway, and on the exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, rise to standing all the way back up. And then exhale, hands come through center in prayer in front of your heart. Let's move through that one more time, and then we'll move on. On the inhale breath, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, come up halfway. And then exhale, plant your hands, step back into plank, lower the knees and go through cobra, or lower halfway and go through upward facing, and then meet in downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose. And exhale out. Deep breath in. And a deep breath out. walk or step or hop up towards the front of your mat. On the inhale breath, we come up halfway, and on the exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way back up to standing. The arms come up overhead next to your ears. And then exhale, hands come through center in prayer in front of your heart. On your inhale breath, we're going to sit in a chair pose. So you have two options here in chair pose. You can either keep your feet hips width distance apart and sit like this in a sort of like a squat, or you can take your feet together. Your toes are together and your heels are slightly apart. So I'm going to take them together, but we're sitting into a chair pose. And I want you to notice that I'm not dipping my low back like this. I'm pulling my belly in towards my spine so that I take that curve out of the lower back. And that actually helps protect the low back from any like pinching or anything like that in this posture. So I want to pull my core in tight as I can. And then notice that my knees are not past my toes. So when you look down, I want you to be able to see your toes. And I want more of the weight into the heels so that you can actually lift your toes and wiggle them off of the mat. And then your arms reach forward. Squeeze the glutes together. Pull the low belly towards your spine. Keep your neck in line with your spine as well. Couple more deep breaths here. And then exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, come up halfway. And then exhale, we're just gonna step our left foot back and find a high lunge. So high lunge is both of our hips are facing straight forward. And then to start, I want you to place your hands on your hips for now. And then notice how when your leg is straight, your pelvis is tilted forward. I want you to bend into that back knee so that you can take your pelvis as straight as possible and your front hip bones are pointing towards the front of the room and not down towards your mat. And then see if you can take that knee right over the ankle and then the arms sweep up overhead. Pull your belly towards your spine. Take your shoulder blades down the back. Take an inhale breath. And then exhale, hands come through prayer in front of your heart. We're going to start to tip forward and then hook your left knee or your left elbow on your right knee. Keeping the, I'm going to turn this way. Keeping your hands pressed together, we're finding this twist. And so your elbows are in line with one another. Press firmly, press your hands together as much as possible to broaden your collarbones to the right side of the room. Strong back leg as well, so no like sinking into that hip. I want you to press firmly out of your right foot and extend your leg, your left leg straight and strong. Maybe squeeze the glutes together and continue to press firmly into the palms. Take an inhale breath. And then exhale, we're going to start to rise up. We're going to stay twisted. See if you can open your arms open wide to the right side of the room. So we're in this wide open, arms wide open twist variation in a high lunge. Take an inhale breath and an exhale out. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, we're going to just start to tip forward. Place our left palm down on the inside of our right foot. Start to drop down onto the outer edge of the left foot. And then we're going to step that right leg back to stack over the left leg for a side plank. If this is too difficult, drop the left knee. And we're in side plank here. So you either have the legs stacked on top of one another or have the left knee drop down. Take an inhale breath and an exhale. Deep breath through the nose. And then exhale, plant your right hand on the mat, come back into that high plank position, and then move through whatever variation of Vinyasa. Taking your back bend of choice and meeting in downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths in your downward dog. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out. Inhale through the nose, last breath. And then exhale. At the end of that exhale, we're going to walk or step or hop towards the front of our mat. Inhale, come up into that halfway lift. And on the exhale, we fold. Inhale, come into chair pose. So sit your hips low. Weight is in the heels. Arms come forward. Pull your belly towards your spine. Look down and see if you can lift the toes. You can see the toes and lift them. Take a couple deep breaths in chair pose. So maybe you sink your hips a little bit lower. One more deep breath here. And then as you exhale, fold all the way down, forward fold. On your inhale breath, come up halfway. And then as you exhale, we're going to step your right foot back for a high lunge on the other side. Start to rise up. And then just take your hands onto your hips to start. We're going to adjust our stance here. So taking that tilt out of the pelvis by bending the right knee and having creating a little bit of space there for that hip flexor on the right side. So my pelvis is tilted straight ahead rather than like this. So, and then reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Bring the shoulder blades down the back. Take your shoulders out of your ears. Inhale through the nose. And then as you exhale, take your hands to prayer in front of your heart. You're going to start to tip forward and then hook your right elbow onto your left knee by the twist. So press firmly into the palms so you can create a little bit more space in that twist. Broaden at the collarbones. Elbows are in line with one another. Press firmly into that left foot. Feel that left glute fire up and extend that left or right leg straight and strong. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. On our inhale, we're going to start to rise. We're staying in that twist. And then see if you can open your arms wide like a T to the left side of the room. Inhale through the nose and breathe out. One more breath through the nose and breathe out. We're going to start to tip forward and place that right palm on the inside of our left foot on the mat. Roll onto the outer edge of our our right foot. Stack the left foot on top. If you need to, drop the right knee down. So we're in side plank on the right. Make sure that your shoulder is right over your wrist on the right arm. And then deep breaths here. See if you can lift the hips a little bit higher. Take your tailbone down towards your heels. One more breath. And then exhale, plant your left palm down on the mat, finding your high plank pose, and then whatever variation that you want to go through in that Vinyasa sequence. Taking your back bend on the inhale breath, meeting in downward facing dog on the exhale. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Let this downward dog be a reset for everything that you just did. You can create so much length in the spine in this posture. So it's a really nice way to just reset the spine with all those twists. And you're a little inverted here. Your hips are above your heart. One more breath. And then as you exhale, make your way towards the front of your mat. On your inhale breath, we come up halfway. And on the exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. The arms come up overhead. Oh, I'm sorry. No, we're sitting in a chair pose. Sorry. So chair pose on the inhale breath. So sink your hips low. Thought you were getting out of that one, but you're not. And then the arms come forward. Take your low belly towards your spine. Sink your hips low. Weight is in the heels. Lift your toes. Get light in the toes, rather. And deep breaths here. One more breath. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come up halfway. And then exhale, we're stepping our left foot back to find high lunge position with the right arm or right leg forward. Inhale through the nose. And then exhale, hands come to prayer in front of your heart. Start to tip forward with the left elbow on the right knee for that twist. Press into the palms to broaden the collarbones, deepening that twist as much as you can. Take an inhale breath. And then exhale, start to rise, keeping the twist. Maybe you open your arms out wide like a T. Deep breath here through the nose. And a deep breath out. Breathe in. And then as you exhale, take the left palm on the inside of the right foot. We're going to roll onto the outer edge of your left foot, find side plank on the left. You can keep the knee up or drop the left knee down. Deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Take your tailbone down towards your heels. Pull the belly in towards the spine. And then exhale, plant your right palm on the mat and move through whatever variation of that vinyasa that you'd like. Inhaling for the back bend and exhaling to downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here, in through the nose and out the nose. Inhale through the nose. Sorry, honey. It's okay. Sorry, honey. Sorry. As you exhale, walk your feet towards the front of your mat. On your inhale breath, come up halfway. And on the exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale into chair, moving right into the other side. Arms come forward, sink into the heels. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And a deep breath out. One more breath here. Excellent form. Thank you. And then exhale, fold forward. On the inhale, come up halfway. And on your exhale, we're going to step your right foot back and find that high lunge position. Arms come up overhead. Take an inhale breath. And an exhale out. Inhale, take your hands in prayer in front of your heart. Start to tip forward and hook the right elbow over the left knee. Find a twist. Press into the palms, broaden the collarbones. See if you can work the shoulders to the left side of the room. Inhaling through the nose and breathing out. As you inhale, start to rise. Stay into that twist as much as you can, and then open your arms out wide like a T. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Start to place the right palm on the inside of your left foot. Roll onto the outer edge of your right, and then step your left leg on top of your right. You can lower that right knee or stay lifted. Side plank on the right. Inhale through the nose and exhale out. Lift the hips a little bit higher if you can. Take your tailbone down towards your heels. One more breath. And then exhale, plant your left palm on the ground and then move through your vinyasa all the way down or halfway. Inhaling on the back bend and exhaling downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here, in and out through the nose. Maybe you exhale out the mouth to release a little bit of that heat, or keep it in to make yourself sweat. 2 more deep breaths here. And a deep breath out. And 1 more breath. And then as you exhale, step or hop or jump up towards the front of your mat. On the inhale breath, we come up halfway. And on the exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale right back into chair pose. Arms come up overhead. Weight is in the heels, belly towards the spine. This time, we're going to take our hands in prayer in chair pose, and we're going to hook our left elbow on our right knee in chair pose and find that twist in this posture. And then we're going to start to shift the weight onto our right foot. Start to lift the back or the left heel off of the mat. Maybe you hover the left foot and step back into that lunge twist, high lunge twist. So that requires some core, some leg work, all that good stuff. Take an inhale breath, and then exhale, rise to the twist. Open up your arms wide towards the right side of the room. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out. Option here to start to reach the right arm down to touch the left thigh and reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. This is a little bit of a back bend, a little bit of a twist, all of that good stuff. This is exalted warrior. You can stay in that wide arm twist if you like, or move into this posture. It's just an option here. And then we're going to start to reach forward back to find that side plank. So place the left palm on the inside of your right foot, right arm goes high, roll onto the outer edge of your left foot, and then stack that right leg on top, side plank. Inhale through the nose and exhale out. Inhale, breath. And then exhale, place the right palm on the mat to find high plank, lowering all the way down or halfway down. Inhale for your back bend, and exhale for downward facing dog. And on that part, you can always just skip and just go right to downward facing dog, or take a child's pose if you'd like. Take a deep breath in through the nose, and a deep breath out. One more breath through the nose, and exhale out. Walk, step, or hop up towards the front of your mat. On the inhale breath, come up halfway, and on the exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, sit back into chair pose. Weight is in the heels, belly is towards the spine. And then on your next inhale breath, take your hands in prayer in front of your heart. And then as you exhale, hook the right elbow on the left knee, find the twist in chair pose. Deep breath through the nose, and a deep breath out. Start to shift the weight onto your left foot, releasing the right heel. Maybe you hover the right foot, and then step back into that high lunge twist. Really press into the palms so that you can broaden the collarbones. Strong back leg. Take an inhale breath. And then as you exhale, rise to that twist. And maybe you open your arms wide to the left side of the room. Inhale here. And exhale. Option to take the right palm, left palm towards the right thigh, and reach the right arm up towards the ceiling for exalted warrior. So that is a full option here. You do not have to do that. One more breath through the nose. And then as you exhale, start to tip forward, place the right palm on the inside of the left foot, drop down onto the outer edge of the right heel, or right foot, and stack the left leg on top of the right side plank. Inhaling and exhaling out. Inhale through the nose. And then as you exhale, come back to high plank and move through that vinyasa, or just skip it and go straight to downward facing dog. And breathe in that downward dog. Enjoy that reset. Enjoy this inversion. Deep breath in and out. And at the end of your next exhale, walk, step, or hop towards the front of your mat. On your inhale breath, we're going to come up halfway. And on the exhale, we're going to fold all the way down. Inhale into chair pose. So here we go. We're going to do this one more time, and we're going to add on a couple more things. So reach your arms forward, sit your hips low, weight is in the heels, belly towards the spine. This way. Start to draw your hands to center in front of your heart in prayer. Hook the left elbow on the right knee. Press into the palms to broaden the collarbone. Start to shift the weight under the right foot. Hover the left heel. Hover the left foot. And then step back into that high lunge twist. Inhale through the nose. And exhale out. Inhale, rise for that twist. Open your arms wide like a T. Maybe you take the right palm to the left thigh, reach your left arm up towards the ceiling for Exalted Warrior. Inhale through the nose. And then as you exhale, start to reach forward, place the left palm on the inside of your right foot, roll onto the outer edge of your left, stack your legs, side plank. You're just doing one breath here, inhale. And then exhale, plant your right palm on the ground. This time we're going into forearm plank. So lower onto your forearms. And we're in forearm plank here. Start to walk your feet towards your elbows as far up as you can. And then press into the elbows, the forearms, and the hands to line or to push your chest back towards your shins and line your ears to your biceps. So this is dolphin pose. And you could be here, you could be all the way up. It's like your posture, it looks different on everybody. So just see if you can pull that chest through and really press into the forearms here. Couple more breaths. And then exhale, lower the knees, untap the back toes. We're just coming to sit on our knees for a second. Take a deep breath here, and a deep breath out. Come back to tabletop pose. Tuck the back toes under, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhaling through the nose. And then as you exhale, jump, step, or hop up towards the front of your mat. Inhale, come up halfway. And then exhale, fold. Inhale into chair pose. Sit your hips low. Arms come out in front of you. Inhale through the nose. And then exhale, hands come through prayer and center. Put the right elbow on the left knee for the twist. Start to shift the weight onto your left foot. Bringing the right foot, stepping back into high plank. High lunge twist. Inhaling through the nose. And exhaling out. Inhale, rise for the twist. Open your arms wide. Deep breath in through the nose. And a deep breath out. Maybe you take the left palm to the right thigh, right arm up towards the sky, Exalted Warrior. Deep breath in. And then as you exhale, your right palm comes down to the mat on the inside of your left foot, and we're stepping back into side plank on the left. Take an inhale, or on the right. Take an inhale breath. And then as you exhale, plant your left palm on the mat, high plank. And then we're lowering onto our forearms for low plank, forearm plank. Start to walk your feet any amount towards your elbows. Pressing into the palms, pressing into the forearms. Press your chest back towards your shins. Take your ears next to your biceps. Pull your low belly in. Really press out of those shoulders, out of the forearms and the hands and the elbows. Maybe you walk your feet in just another inch. Take a deep breath in. And then a deep breath. Start to walk your feet back out. Lower the knees. This time come into child's pose. Keep your knees together in child's pose this time. So rest your forehead on the mat or on a pillow. Take your arms back towards your heels with your palms facing up. So the tops of your feet are down on the mat. So we're in this modified child's pose. Let your shoulders hang heavy. Couple deep breaths here. And then we're going to start to rise up on our thighs or on our knees. Take your fists and put them together in front of you. And then you're going to set your hips right at your abdomen, resting on sort of where your groin is. And then we're going to start to fold forward over our knees again. This may be pretty intense to start, but the key is to breathe pretty deeply here. So what this posture does is it allows you to massage the organs in a different way and put a little bit more pressure and a little bit more oxygen and blood flow into that part of the body. Keep breathing. I'm feeling like my full pulse in my belly right now, so it's definitely a pretty intense position to be in. So continue to breathe. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. One more breath here. And on your next inhale breath, slowly start to rise back up to sitting on your knees. Release the palms, place them flat onto your thighs. If this is uncomfortable for you to sit on your knees, take a blanket or a pillow and place them right here underneath your thighs, underneath your hamstrings. Take your shoulder blades down your back. Take your belly towards your spine. And like somebody has a string attached to the crown of your head, lift your head up a little bit higher. Extend your spine long and straight. Close the eyes maybe here. And just return to your natural breathing for a moment. Take one more breath here. Maybe a deeper one. Maybe you breathe out through the mouth. And then we're going to come into tabletop pose. Cross your right knee. So this is, have some pillows nearby. This is going to be an outer hip opener, a gluteus medius opener as well. So have some pillows nearby or a blanket. You're going to cross your right knee behind your left. And then open up your feet. So I'm going to turn to face this way. Open up your feet wide like this. So we're kind of coming into like this, like crossed. Here, I'll show you from this side as well. So we're kind of here, and you can see that my knees are, or my like shins are together. See if you can take the feet wider. And then we're going to sit back onto our butts. So you may flex into the feet as much as you can. You may need to put a pillow underneath your right hip. Yeah. Or no, sorry, put it under your left hip. Yeah. So pillow under your left glute. So this is called Gomukhasana, and it's an outer hip stretch on usually both sides. And we want to try to see if we can get, like we're working towards getting our knees in line with one another. I'm actually going to face this direction to show you. So we're working on getting my knees stacked directly on top of each other. And both of our sit bones are on the mat as much as we can. And that's where that pillow comes into play. So you might need to put that pillow underneath your left glute. And then flex into both feet and sit up as straight as possible. And we're closing our eyes and we're taking deep breaths in and out through the nose. This is a pretty intense stretch on the hips as well. So it's important to recognize that distinction between being uncomfortable and being in pain. So if you're feeling like this is really painful, please back out. Take maybe a figure 4 on your back or pigeon pose. Or just, place a pillow underneath your glutes. So open up the eyes. We're actually going to move into a twist here. So we're going to take our left arm. So left arm, well, I'm on the opposite from you, but you're going to take your left arm and place it at your sacrum behind you. Take your right arm up towards your ear, and then take your elbow on the outside of your left knee. So using the elbow in that left knee, I'm using that resistance to pull, to open up my collarbone towards the left side of the room, finding that twist. The left arm is pressing into the mat to allow, to like try to keep my spine as straight as possible. So that left palm should help you lengthen the spine as much as you can. Deep breaths here through the nose. One more breath. And then as you exhale, slowly start to release that twist. And then two options for a transition here. You could do, you have two options. The easier way, the more basic way, is just release the legs out in front of you and then just shake it out. Or if you want to do something fun and you're more of a, you've been practicing for a long time, start to come onto the knees, take your forearms down towards the mat, set up for a little headstand transition. So I'm tucking my right toe under, lifting my knees off of the mat, uncrossing the legs, and crossing in a different direction, and coming down into Gomukhasana on the other side. So it's just a fun little funky transition for those who have headstand in their practice and have been practicing for a long time. So if your legs are straight out in front of you, take your knees to the side. We're coming back into tabletop pose. This time we're crossing our left knee behind our right. And sitting, or wait, no, we just did that side. Sorry. We're crossing our right knee behind our left and sitting back. No, we did that side already too. Sorry. Left knee behind the right. That is the right side. And then sitting back into Gomukhasana. So again, we want to see if we can stack the knees on top of each other as much as we can. Flex into both feet. And you may need that pillow underneath your right glute. Sit up as straight as possible to start. See if you can get both sit bones on the mat. And deep breath through the nose. And a deep breath out. Take your right palm and place it behind you at your sacrum. And then take your left arm up and overhead to your ear. And see if you can hook that left elbow on the right knee. Opening up your shoulders, your collarbone to the right side of the room. Finding the twist in this pose. Deep breath in and deep breath out. One more breath in and one more breath out. Release that twist. And then everybody, we're just going to straighten our legs out in front of us. And just shake it out as much as you need to. Grab a pillow, a foam roller, or if you have a yoga block, grab a yoga block. We're going to come into a supported bridge pose. So we're going to come onto our backs, place the soles of your feet flat on the mat. And then start to scoot your tailbone down towards your heels as much as you can. Feet are hips width distance apart. Take the foam roller or a block or a pillow, lift your hips up off of the ground and place that prop underneath your sacrum. So it's not on your low back, it's not on your lumbar spine, and it's not on your butt. It's on that bony part right above the tailbone. And if you feel like you want a little bit more, you want to stack some pillows or you want to do a block, you can take it to a higher height. That's totally up to you. And just take your arms out by your side, palms facing up, and enjoy this nice restorative posture. You should feel pretty good on the back, the low back, and on the pelvis, and the abdomen as well. It should feel pretty good all around. And just come to your natural breath. Maybe you continue to breathe deeply, but that's totally up to you. Go ahead and take another breath here. And a breath out. And then press into the feet to lift the hips. Remove that prop out of the way. Lower very slowly your sit bones back towards the ground. Extend your legs straight out in front of you. We're coming into our final resting pose, Shavasana. So press into the back of your head to lift your shoulder blades off of the mat and pull them together and tuck them underneath. And then press into the heels to lift your tailbone and tuck your tailbone so that you're resting more on your sacrum. Take a slight tuck to the chin, very, very slight. Arms are open wide with the palms facing up. The outer edges of your feet are dropping down towards the floor. Close the eyes. And starting with your feet, start to scan your body from the toes to the top of your head, noticing if there is any place that you are holding on to, any tension or stress or gripping or squeezing any muscles. Just notice if there's anywhere that you're gripping and just fully relax that. And that could be something as subtle as the back where you're sort of like still pressing into your shoulder blades. Just release whatever you're gripping onto so that the weight of gravity is allowing you to fully melt into the mat. The eyes are fluttered to close. Lips are slightly parted. Jaw is relaxed and unclenched. And your tongue is removed from the roof of your mouth. And then relax your brow, your forehead. There's no crease in the brow. And enjoy this last final resting pose. Feeling all of the benefits of the practice. Maybe you are a little bit more strong and open in the body, a little bit clearer in the mind. I encourage you to stay here as long as you need, as long as you'd like, at least 5 minutes. I just want to thank you for joining me in this practice and hope that you have a wonderful rest of your evening. So please stay here as long as you need. Thank you so much.